something that makes you very unique is your background in hypnosis. Can you speak on it a few minutes? Because you said back in the 80s you were doing this. I know you first started doing shows. Again, you're one of the OGs here in the UK, bringing that art that people didn't understand back then. And that's throughout all of your work. You know, it's a crucial part, maybe not obvious to a lot of people because NLP came in afterwards. But can you speak on that a little bit? Because that's what makes you very unique.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, sure. So I was a radio broadcaster, and I loved being a radio broadcaster. And I had a particularly bad day. I'd broken up with my girlfriend, row with my boss. The people in the apartment where I was living were keeping me up at night. And I went off to interview the local hypnotist. I was working in local radio. And I arrived, and this guy went, he goes, rather than, you interview me, I need to do it to you, mate. And I said, I was benevolently skeptical. I sat back, go on then, knock yourself out. And I felt so relaxed. I mean, really relaxed. All my burdens lifted. My head became clear. The internal dialogue slowed down, and I was thinking of peaceful thoughts, and it was beautiful, and I was blissed out. And it felt like my eyes had been closed for 2 minutes. It had been 30 minutes. And I woke from this and I went, wow, that was great. I said, do you have any books on this? And he lent me a book by Richard Bandler, and I took it away, and I began practicing. I would be at a party, right? And I'd say, I'm learning hypnosis, right? And people would say, oh, it won't work on me. I'd say, shall we find out? And of course, most of the time it seemed to work, and I'd have people up dancing like a ballerina or shouting stupid stuff out. And then I started using it to help people quit smoking, lose weight, do all the sort of things a hypnotherapist does. And I put on a little show, and they in a pub, and then it became a bigger show, and theatres and so on. And so it grew, but at the same time, I was, because I'm quite a compulsive person, I became fascinated with it. And I went to train with Richard Bandler, and then I harassed the poor man until, just teach me everything. And I would go and hang out with him and watch what he did and study it and study it and study. We had videotapes in those days, and books is all we had. Now, of course, we've got tons of product and that we can study from. And it's much more eloquent because other people have come to the field of hypnosis and NLP that have brought more things. I myself and a number of us are psychological designers. We design a technique for a particular thing, and then we ring at each other and go, guess what I can do, or you see somebody doing something really great and you go, that bit's good. But what if you took that and you put it with that, you see, and then you create some sort of hybrid, this thing here, the apex is Genpo's thing, and I just funked it up a bit, right? So now you have an extraordinary time where you've got lots of people who are practicing hypnotherapy, NLP. NLP is practiced by nearly every therapist in the world in some form or another, whether it's called by something else. Every government, every major corporation, right? Salespeople, it's an extraordinary technology. Hypnosis was a kind of voodoo until about sort of 30, 40 years ago, and now it's totally mainstream, embraced by modern psychology and medicine, and things like these psychosensory techniques, this, etc., are becoming really popular and good because they have never been more needed now than ever, right? We have never needed more hypnotherapists, psychosensory therapists, etc., because of all the stress, anxiety, fear in the world, and also because people need to adapt to what is an ever-changing world, right? If we look at, say, the field of cybernetics, right, there's something called the law of requisite variety, and this is that the part of a system that has the most flexibility always ends up in control of the system, be it a family, a corporation, a political party, etc. So the person that is able to most adapt to their ever-changing environment will end up as master of their own destiny. And we're seeing, adaptation very important these days. We've had to learn to work from home, learn to work remotely, learn to do this, change our businesses in this way. And so those people who've adapted have done well, and other people have found it very challenging. And so, again, part of my work is to get people to think outside of the normal confines of their regular sort of formats, and to see other possibilities, to be more creative and flexible in their thinking. And some of that's really easily done. You just get people, you ask them a bunch of questions, or you get them to visualize things from different perspectives, and suddenly they see possibility and opportunity.
It's incredible how much power there is in just trying to focus on some of these techniques, and how much you can solve people's problems that they might never solve on their own for their entire lives.
Yeah, right? I mean, a lot of people won't be able to solve their own problems. I mean, some people can, but you don't cut your own hair, you don't massage your own back, you don't do your own brain surgery. Why not bring in someone who's been doing it? I mean, I always try and find someone who's really good at the thing. If I need the house painted, I'll go find someone who's good at it rather than try and do it myself. And what I've tried to do is to make hypnotherapy easily available to as many people across the world as possible. So, when I started out, I thought I could work with a few thousand people in my lifetime, or I could make cassettes, because I had a background in radio and I understand how to make audio and make the trances all beautiful, And then CDs came along, and now, of course, everything's downloadable, or the format with which people watch it. So, for example, I take, say something like one of my books or my bits of intellectual property, and I work now with Mind Valley, and we take and we chop it into 21 10-minute lessons, And so, I mean, right now I'm training 1,300 hypnotherapists, and it's done online because we can finally do that, because people are used to using Zoom, they're used to taking part in video meetings, they're used to practicing things virtually, etc. So the world has changed, and I'm trying my best to adapt to it. Although just before we started doing this, we were chatting about augmented reality, virtual reality, etc., and how that's going to be the next the next leap forward.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.